The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Emperor Vexitar's massive form rose from the obsidian throne. His 12 arms spread wide, each one adorned with the conquered banners of 1,000 worlds. The assembled delegates, representatives, of species that had bent the knee to the dominion over millennia, cowered in their seats, all except one. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the center of the chamber, her small human frame dwarfed by the towering alien architecture. Her military dress uniform bore no decorations of surrender, no white flags of defeat. She had come alone as requested, but her spine remained straight as steel. "Human," Vexitar's voice boomed through the chamber, each word translated into 100 languages simultaneously. "Your pathetic species has defied the Dominion for the last time. We have assembled the greatest fleet in galactic history, 50,000 warships, each capable of cracking planets like eggs." The Emperor's eyes, all 6 of them, fixed on Chen with predatory intensity. "Your Earth hangs in space like a ripe fruit, surrounded by our vessels. One word from me, and it becomes cosmic dust." Murmurs rippled through the chamber. The Zephyrians clicked their mandibles nervously. The crystalline Thulorians chimed in harmonious fear. Even the warlike Krathan delegation shifted uncomfortably in their seats. They had all faced this moment, the final ultimatum before annihilation or absorption into the Empire. "Yet," Vexitar continued, savoring each syllable, "I am not without mercy. Surrender now. Accept incorporation into the Dominion and your species will be useful. Refuse, and join the void with the countless others who chose pride over survival." Captain Chen stepped forward. The motion was small, barely perceptible, yet it commanded the attention of every being in the chamber. Her voice when she spoke was quiet, but carried clearly through the vast space. "Emperor Vexitar, I bring word from Earth's United Defense Council. Speak quickly, human. My patience grows thin." Chen reached into her jacket and withdrew a single sheet of paper, actual paper, a novelty that caused several delegates to lean forward in curiosity. The age of digital communication had made physical documents almost extinct, yet here was this primitive human carrying one like an ancient relic. She unfolded it slowly, deliberately, her eyes scanning the brief message written there. The chamber held its collective breath. "The message is short," Chen said, looking up to meet Vexitar's gaze. "Just one word, actually." The Emperor's massive head tilted slightly. In his 3,000 years of conquest, he had heard every possible response. Pleas for mercy, offers of tribute, desperate negotiations for time. But there was something in this human's demeanor that felt different. Dangerous. One word? Vexitar's voice carried a hint of amusement. "How quaint. Very well, human. Deliver your species' final message." Sarah Chen looked around the chamber, her gaze touching each delegation in turn. She saw fear in their eyes, yes, but also something else, a flicker of hope that they dared not acknowledge. How long had it been since anyone had stood before this throne without bowing? She turned back to the Emperor and spoke the word clearly, letting it ring through the chamber like a bell. "Nuts." Silence. Then, slowly, confusion rippled through the assembled delegates. Universal translators struggled with the term, producing strange approximations in alien tongues. Several species representatives tilted their heads in bewilderment. Emperor Vexitar's eyes narrowed. "What did you say?" "Nuts," Chen repeated, her voice growing stronger. "It's a human expression. It means absolutely not. Go to hell, or more politely, we respectfully decline your generous offer to become your slaves." The Emperor's face darkened. "You mock me? You stand in my throne room surrounded by my fleet and you mock me with nuts?" "Actually," Chen said, folding the paper and placing it back in her jacket, "there's a bit more to it than that. You see, that word has history for my people. It was first used by General Anthony McAuliffe during something we call the Battle of Bastonia, when German forces demanded his surrender during our Second World War. He was surrounded, outgunned, running low on supplies, much like Earth is now. The Emperor leaned forward, his massive form looming over the human. And what happened to this general and his army? Chen smiled, the first expression of emotion she had shown since entering the chamber. They held. Against impossible odds. They held until reinforcements arrived. The Germans never took Bastogne. How inspiring, Vextar snarled. But there are no reinforcements coming for Earth, human. You are alone in the cosmos. Are we? Chen asked simply. As if on cue, the chamber's communication systems crackled to life. Admiral Thorak, commander of the Dominion fleet, appeared as a hologram, his usually composed features etched with panic. Emperor, we have a problem. Sensors are detecting massive hyperspace signatures throughout the system, hundreds of them, no, thousands. The Emperor's blood froze. That's impossible. Our intelligence confirmed humanity has no allies. Not allies, sir, the Admiral continued, his voice shaking. It's the ships we've been hunting, the rebellion fleets. They're all here. Every surviving free world that escaped the Dominions. Conquest, they're forming up around Earth. Chen's smile widened. You see, Emperor, there's another thing about that word, nuts. When General McAuliffe said it, he wasn't just speaking for himself or his men. He was speaking for everyone who believed that some things are worth fighting for, no matter the odds. Throughout the chamber, alien delegates were receiving similar reports from their homeworlds. The Thulorian representative's crystalline body began to glow with excitement. The Krathan delegation started growling in what Chen recognized as approval. For months, Chen continued, our message has been spreading through your empire, not through diplomatic channels or military broadcasts, but through whispered conversations in the dark corners of conquered worlds. One simple word, carrying, with it a simple idea, that freedom is worth dying for. The Emperor rose to his full height, rage radiating from every pore. This changes nothing. Even with their combined forces, the rebels cannot match the might of the Dominion. Maybe not, Chen admitted. But here's the thing about humans, Emperor. We're really stubborn, and apparently that's contagious. As if to punctuate, her words' communication channels throughout the galaxy suddenly activated. On 1,000 conquered worlds in 100 different languages, the same message began to broadcast. Nuts. Prison camps erupted in riots. Slave colonies declared independence. Garrison commanders found themselves facing uprisings on every front, as species that had accepted defeat for centuries suddenly remembered what it meant to say no. Emperor Vextar stared at the small human standing defiantly before his throne, finally understanding the magnitude of what she represented. This wasn't just about one world's refusal to surrender. This was the beginning of the end of everything he had built. One word, he whispered, more to himself than to her. One word, Chen confirmed. But sometimes that's all it takes to change everything. The war that followed would be remembered as the bloodiest in galactic history. The Dominion would ultimately fall, not to superior firepower or strategic brilliance, but to a simple human concept that spread like wildfire across the stars. Sometimes the most powerful response to tyranny is a single defiant word. Nuts.